I love wrestling fans, they're the most passionate and loyal fans in the world. But by God, sometimes it feels like we're not in the final stages of evolution. There's a lot of stuff we need to stop doing. Stop it! Speaking of fans, the amount of complaints about smelly armpits is crazy. Come on people, be better, these exist. Use it. Please. It's really not that crazy. I've been a part of this community and making videos for a very long time right now, so I've came across a lot of crazy wrestling fans. Hey! This guy has an opinion! Look, fatty, let's start with the part where you mentioned AEW. At the end of the day, wrestling's not that deep. So wrestling fans, stop doing that. Real quick, click that like button or I will become a 4-hour show. I'm guilty of this myself sometimes, but wrestling fans tend to expect the expected all the time. It's all about the right booking decision. Everything needs to go from point A to point B. But what I've come to realize is that wrestling is a scripted reality show. And in reality, bad stuff happens. I've realized wrestling fans want everything to be boring. Yes, I know what a right booking decision is, but sometimes we need the unexpected, we need unpredictability, we need all the bad, shitty stuff. Sometimes the shitty stuff is just as important as the right stuff. It's supposed to look real, nothing is gonna be perfect, so I believe wrestling should be a mixed bag of everything, and that's already kinda the case. This one I hate. If you like a certain wrestling company, you can't like the other one.
But I actually watch both. I mean, I think both shows are great. Why can't I watch both?
Stop, Jimmy! There's only one show you must pick. But why? Why is that every time I talk about a WWE moment, I can say, wow, Roman Reigns was great on the microphone last week.
Well, Kenny Omega was actually...
I don't care. I don't give a shit, I don't care. The same goes with the WWE fans. AEW can do something and you will get...
The Tribal Chief is better.
Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit. How are you connecting these dots? I also hate when people believe that we gotta pick a team. I'm either Team WWE or Team AEW. I don't know why I did that. They don't give a shit about you. It's just a business tragedy. You're not a part of the WWE universe, and AEW are not doing it for the fans. The bigger they will get, the more you will realize it. You're not a part of a team, you're just a viewer, nobody gives a shit about you. That sounds a bit too dark. You really don't need to pick sides, you can watch everything. By the way, I don't think consuming 50 hours of wrestling a week is healthy. We're all guilty of this, especially wrestling content creators. I mean, at the end of the day, we gotta analyze this stuff and say what was good, what was bad. At the end of the day, you need to realize that nothing's perfect. There's not a single movie that is completely perfect, not a single song. You will always have something to nitpick. Does Monday Nitro have that more than we need? Of course. I don't think at this point it's nitpicking. The show can be really, really bad. But if you take SmackDown, I don't really think there's major problems, and sometimes I believe wrestling fans are just nitpicking. I don't even think it's possible to fix that problem. Okay, everyone is guilty of this one. Buried. I think he's buried. He's probably buried. You know what? I think he's buried. No, he's not. He is not buried. Of course, sometimes that is legitimately true, I understand that, but most of the time, people win, people lose. You don't need to jump into conclusions. I think you can just apply that to people in general, but when I'm making videos, I can say something and people will take it out of context, jump into conclusions. You know, I've said, you know what, I think Drew McIntyre needs to step away from the WWE title picture. As much as I love Drew McIntyre, just for now, people will say, oh my god, you've turned on Drew McIntyre. I didn't. You're just jumping into conclusions. And I mean, we're all guilty of this. We can see the beginning of a title reign and already say it sucks. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, but jumping into conclusions is not the right way to do it. Shut the hell up, I paid money for this photo. It's probably a minority, I'm not sure, but some wrestling fans are absolute creeps. You're not supposed to do that. Dude, you're not supposed to do that. Please stop. Come on. I remember seeing a clip of a woman kissing Roman Reigns without his consent. Are you out of your mind? Just imagine how crazy that is. And there are also many examples of fans touching wrestlers. And I'm not talking about touching a shoulder. Another problem with entitlement is the fans saying, we deserve this, we want this champion, and we will get this champion. How dare WWE not listen to us? Vince McMahon is not listening to the WWE universe. He's not supposed to, first of all. I believe that if WWE kept listening to every single idea fans have, it would be boring as hell. That's just my opinion. And second of all, they do listen. There are many examples of WWE actually pushing someone or giving the championship to someone that people really want. Wrestling needs balance. We are supposed to get champions we want. We are supposed to get champions we don't want. Dude, if you wanna ruin your mood, go to Twitter. Just people arguing about the dumbest things ever for no reason whatsoever. Just the most toxic thing you can imagine. I've stopped doing that because I've realized you can't change people's opinions for the most part. And there's really no point in doing that. Who gives a shit? Lately, the most ridiculous thing I've seen is people arguing whether Kenny Omega or Randy Orton is better. What? Isn't that subjective? That's like arguing whether pork or chicken is better. Come on, dude, blue is way better than red, and everyone who says red is better can suck on my ballsack. That is so childish. Come on. I might get some shit from this, but nothing screams loser more than simping for WWE wrestlers. There's one thing to appreciate a female wrestler, but this is just on a whole different level. By the way, it's just a fake profile I've made. Oh, Alexa, my goddess, I love you. Leave your husband. Relax. Stop doing that. Maybe you'll end up getting laid. Most of it is just cringe, you know, simping for wrestlers, talking about their appearance, which one is better, is Alexa Bliss better than Sasha Banks, all that shitty stuff. Sometimes it's just straight up creepy. They get obsessed, they start stalking wrestlers. That is just unbelievable. They leave hateful comments on pictures with a female wrestler with their boyfriends, husbands, or whatever. Are you out of your minds? How much of a fucking loser are you? I don't think it's a problem to take wrestling seriously. I mean, at the end of the day, it's such a big part of my life. It's literally my job. So obviously, I do take it seriously, but at the end of the day, you need to realize it's just a television show. It's not that deep. You can be a total geek, I don't care. You can be a total wrestling nerd, there's not a single problem with that. But when you see a bad booking decision and you lose your mind, there's a problem. At the end of the day, it's not that serious. I really hate this one, and I'm really trying hard to avoid doing that because I think many content creators believe they're some kind of gurus of wrestling. At the end of the day, wrestling is subjective. You can't say to someone, you shouldn't like this because this is bad. How dare you like this? You're smarter than that. You can't like this. We, as wrestling fans, reject the thought of you liking this. So what if someone likes Goldberg's matches? So what if someone likes part-timers? So what if people like Brock Lesnar as the champion? So what if people like Nia? Okay, that's a bit too far. If you like Nia Jax, leave the video. But in all seriousness, I hate this. You know, who are you to tell someone that they should not like a specific moment, wrestler, match? It's their opinion, it's subjective. There's literally something for everyone. People like different stuff. Explaining shit to some wrestling fans is just like explaining something to a 5-year-old. At some point in wrestling, it became cool to hate on the babyface, mainly the champion of the brand. Recent examples are Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, and even Drew McIntyre. To some degree, I believe people really like Drew McIntyre, but I'm also seeing people hating the guy right now. I do agree that he needs to step away from the title picture for a few months, maybe until the end of the year, but I don't see where the hate is coming from. It probably started ever since CM Punk became the champion and people just want someone cool. And I understand that to some degree, but it seems like it's a pattern we're following right now, hating on every single babyface WWE champion. Sure, WWE could do a better job with their babyfaces, you know, they look really stupid and sometimes pretty boring. We don't need babyface to be a perfect human being. I think Randy Orton is a good example of a mixed bag. He can turn into a babyface, but he's not gonna change completely who he's are. But like I've said, the main problem I have is people turning on every single babyface because it's just the cool thing to do. Sometimes they won't even hate it, but they're gonna jump on the bandwagon and follow every single fan who does. So these are some of the things that wrestling fans need to stop doing, including myself. Don't get me wrong, I'm guilty of many of these. Sometimes it's just jokes, you know, don't take everything seriously, but sometimes I am talking out of my ass. Like, I can say some really dumb shit that I will completely change my opinion on later. So thank you for watching this video, hopefully you enjoyed, and as always, the great one, peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.